Hello, my name is Randall Brewer, and this is my informative speech. These are my 3 note cards. 3. Alright. So I'm going to start with my introduction. Every generation faces its own economical challenges, but, throughout history, American history, no event can match the Great Depression in severity. As students and young adults start to enter the workforce, they are required to manage their own finances, and it is important to have an understanding of the historical significance of the Great Depression and how policies and economic mistakes have shaped our society. The Great Depression specifically reshaped American policy, mainly requiring long-lasting reforms and leaving us still in debt today. In my speech, I intend to define what implications and explain how America was overall reshaped, mainly the government. So, first, I will define why the Great Depression occurred. One of the main causes of the Great Depression was the stock market crash of 1929, which wiped out billions of dollars in wealth nearly overnight. According to Patrick Kigger, by 1932, stock market losses had erased 40% of the paper value of American companies. But the crash wasn't the only issue. Herbert Hoover, the president at the time, did not take a hands-on approach and instead believed that the economy would fix itself. But as more and more banks failed and unemployment surged, countless families lost their homes, lost their savings, lost their jobs, and without insurance or government backing, many banks collapsed due to the large amount of people withdrawing their savings. According to Kigger, the Federal Reserve tightened the money supply, which worsened the downturn instead of easing it. Now that I have defined why the Great Depression occurred, I will discuss its wide range economic and social implications. Unemployment reached nearly 25%, leaving millions without work, wages, and nowhere to turn. According to Nicholas Kraft and Peter Fearon, this joblessness tore at the fabric of Americans' lives, leading to emotional distress, leading to lack of supplies and trust in the government mainly. This increased homelessness, weakened communities, and made many people rely on soup kitchens and the old barter system where people just trade items. Requiring basic needs. They use the barter system to acquire needs like food and water and other essential supplies. Countless people lost their homes and sense of control over their lives. Often immigrants and minorities face the harshest effects because they were the last people to be hired and the first people to be fired. According to Crafts and Ferron, women meanwhile faced increased pressure to remain in the house, remain in their homes, even as their families relied on the income that they could bring in potentially. Now that I have discussed its wide-range economic and social implications, I will explain how it reshaped government policies in America. In 1933, Franklin D. Roosevelt got into office and became our president. He created the New Deal which aimed to provide relief, recovery, and reform to our nation. He provided Social Security and the Civilian Conservation Corps, which provided jobs and income sources to anyone in need. According to David M. Kennedy, the Great Depression demonstrated the indispensable role of government in managing national crises and protecting citizens. These reforms redefined the federal government and helped to rebuild the relationship that the government had with the American citizens. They set the stage for future safety nets and Medicare and other programs to help anyone that might be unemployed. In this speech, I defined why the Great Depression occurred. I discussed the wide range economic and social implications, and I explained how it reshaped government policy in America. Oh yeah.